Sunday, September 21st.
21st.
And we're going to be reading Isaiah 25.
No, not 20.
52
through
55.
Through 55, right. Thank you. You remembered it, right? Right, Joshua? No. Okay, so it truly is morning. And it is Monday morning before school. So y'all aren't nearly as active and awake and energetic as you are at night. But we're going to put the word in first thing, right? All right.
Okay. 52, Zion rejoicing. Wake up. Open your eyes. There you go. Beautiful Zion, put on your majestic strength. Jerusalem, the sacred city, put on your glory garments. Never again will the unclean enter your gates. Arise and shake off your dust. Sit enthroned, Jerusalem. Break off your shackles of bondage from your neck, you captive daughter of Zion. For this is what Yahweh has to say. You were sold for nothing. Now you will be redeemed without any payment. For Yahweh says, long ago my people went down to Egypt and lived as foreigners there, and for no good reason Assyria oppressed them. And now what have I here, says Yahweh. Indeed, my people have been taken into bondage without cause. While mocking rulers howl, and every day my name is continually despised, says Yahweh. Therefore my people will know the power of my name, and they will know in the day that I am the one who promised them, saying, behold, I am here. What a beautiful sight to behold, the precious feet of the messenger coming over the mountains to announce good news. He comes to refresh us with wonderful news, announcing salvation to Zion and saying, your mighty God reigns. Listen, the watchmen are shouting in triumph, lifting their voices together. They are singing for joy, for right before their eyes they can see Yahweh returning to Zion. Burst into joyous songs, you rubble of Jerusalem. For Yahweh has graciously comforted his people. He has become the kinsman redeemer of Jerusalem. Yahweh has unveiled his holy arm before the eyes of all nations. To the ends of the earth, everyone everywhere will see the salvation of our God. Go and leave Babylon behind. Touch nothing unclean as you depart. Keep your life pure as you leave, you who carry the vessels of Yahweh. You will neither have to leave in haste, nor will you make a frantic escape. For your God, Yahweh, will go before you. He will lead you each step and be your rear guard. The despised servant. Look, my servant will prosper and succeed. He will be highly honored, raised up, and greatly exalted, just as many were appalled at the sight of him. For so marred was his appearance, like an object of horror. He no longer looked like a man. So now he will startle many nations. Kings will be shocked, speechless before him. For they will now see a sight unheard of, and things never considered before now fill their thoughts. Chapter 53. Who has truly believed our revelation? To whom will Yahweh reveal his mighty arm? He sprouted up like a tender plant before the Lord, like a root in parched soil. He possessed no distinguishing beauty or outward splendor to catch our attention. Nothing special in his appearance to make us desire him. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of deep sorrows, who was no stranger to suffering and grief. We hid our faces from him in disgust and considered him a nobody, not worthy of respect. The sin-bearer servant. Yet he was the one who carried our sickness and endured the torment of our sufferings. He viewed him as one who was being punished for something he himself had done, as one who was struck down by God and brought low. But it was because of our rebellious deeds that he was pierced, and because of our sins that he was crushed. He endured the punishment that made us completely whole. And in his wounding we found our healing. Like wayward sheep, we have all wandered astray. Each of us turned from God's paths and chosen our own way. Even so, Yahweh laid the guilt of our of every sin upon him. Surrendered servant. He was oppressed and harshly mistreated. Still, he humbly submitted, refusing to defend himself. He was led like a gentle lamb to be slaughtered, like a silent sheep before his shearers. He didn't even open his mouth. By coercion with the perversion of justice, he was taken away. Who could have imagined his future? He was cut down in the prime of life. For the rebellion of his own people, he was struck down in their place. They gave him a grave among criminals, but he ended up instead in a rich man's tomb, although he had done no violence nor spoken deceitfully. The servant's reward. Even though it pleased Yahweh to crush him with grief, he will be restored to favor. After his soul becomes a guilt offering, he will gaze upon his many offspring and prolong his days, and through him Yahweh's deepest desires will be fully accomplished. After the great anguish of his soul, he will see the light and be fully satisfied. By knowing him, the righteous one, my servant will make many to be righteous, because he, their sin bearer, carried away their sins. So I, Yahweh, will assign him a portion among a great multitude, and he will triumph, and divide the spoils of victory with his mighty ones. All because he poured out his lifeblood to death. He was counted among the worst of sinners, yet he carried sin's burden for many, and intercedes for those who are rebels. Chapter 54. God's tender love for Zion. Rejoice with singing, you barren one, who have never given birth. Burst into a song of joy and shout, you who have never been in labor. For the deserted wife will have more children than the married one, says Yahweh. Increase is coming, so enlarge your tent and add extensions to your dwelling. Hold nothing back. Make the tent rope stronger and the peg stronger. You will increase and spread out in every direction. Your sons and daughters will conquer nations and revitalize desolate cities. Do not fear, for your shame is no more. Do not be embarrassed, for you will not be disgraced. You will forget the inadequacy you felt in your youth. You will no longer remember the shame of your widowhood. For your Maker is your husband, and his name is Yahweh, commander of angel armies. Your kinsman redeemer is the Holy One of Israel. He has the title, Mighty God of all the earth. For I, Yahweh, have invited you to come back, like a depressed, deserted wife, like a young wife who has experienced rejection. I am drawing you back to me, says Yahweh. For just a brief moment I deserted you, but with tender feelings of love I will gather you back to me. In a surge of anger, for just the briefest moment I hid my face from you, but with everlasting kindness I will show you my cherishing love, says Yahweh, your kinsman redeemer. To me this is like the time when I vowed that the waters of Noah's flood would never again cover the earth. Now I vow to you that I will neither be angry with you nor rebuke you, even if the mountains were to crumble and the hills disappear. My heart of steadfast, faithful love will never leave you, and my covenant of peace with you will never be shaken, says Yahweh, whose love and compassion will never give up on you. God will restore. You unhappy one, storm-tossed and troubled, I am ready to rebuild you with precious stones. And your intimacy with me will be built on the foundation of sapphires. I will make your towers of rubies, your gates of sparkling jewels, and all your walls of precious, delightful stones. All your children will be taught by Yahweh, and great will be their peace and prosperity. You will be established in righteousness. Oppression, be far from me. Fear, be far from me. Yes, terror will not come near you, nor will you be afraid. If anyone dares to stir up strife against you, it is not from me. Those who challenge you will go down in defeat. See, I am the one who created the craftsman, who fans the coals into a fire and forges a weapon fit for its purpose. And I am the one who created the destroyer to destroy. But I promise you, no weapon meant to hurt you will succeed, and you will refute every accusing word spoken against you. This promise is the inheritance of Yahweh's servants, and their vindication is from me, says Yahweh.
Chapter 55. Invitation to an abundant life. Listen, Are you thirsty for more? Come to the refreshing waters and drink. Even if you have no money, come, buy and eat. Yes, come and buy all the wine and milk you desire. It won't cost a thing. Why spend your hard-earned money on something that can't nourish you, or work so hard for something that can't satisfy? So listen carefully to me, and you'll enjoy a sumptuous feast. Delight in the finest of food. Pay attention and come closer to me, and hear that your total being may flourish. I will enter into an everlasting covenant with you, and I will show you the same faithful love that I showed David. See, I made him a witness to the nations, an example of leadership as prince and commander of peoples. Look, you will summon nations you've never heard of. Nations who have never heard of you will come running to follow you, because Yahweh your God, the Holy One of Israel, has glorified you. God's mercy greater than man's. Seek the Lord Yahweh when he makes himself approachable. Call upon him when you sense he is near. The wicked need to abandon their ways, and sinful ones need to banish every evil thought. Let them return to Yahweh, and they will experience his compassionate mercy. Yes, let them return to God, for he will lavish forgiveness upon them. For my thoughts about mercy are not like your thoughts, and my ways are different from yours. As high as the heavens are above the earth, so my ways and my thoughts are higher than yours. As the snow and rain that fall from heaven do not return until they have accomplished their purpose, soaking the earth and causing it to sprout with new life, providing seed to sow and bread to eat, so also will be the word that I speak. It does not return to me unfulfilled. My word performs my purpose and fulfills the mission I have sent it out to accomplish. For you will leave your exile with joy and be led home wrapped in peace. Bless you. The mountains and hills in front of you will burst into singing, and the trees of the field will applaud. Cypress trees will flourish where they were only thorns, and myrtle trees instead of nettles. These will stand as a testimony of Yahweh's renown, everlasting signs that will not be cut off. And that is Monday's reading. It's Isaiah 52 through 55.
Bye. Have a great day. Please subscribe. Like this video. Please do like or comment. Bye.
Bye.